Okay, so today's lesson is mostly review because the bulk of the lesson is solving inequalities, but only that have to do with addition and subtraction. So, and honestly, that's a review from, I think, Thursday or Friday when it was about solving one-step equations. Because if you look at my example here, I have x minus 2 is greater than 4. Just because this Pac-Man's here, this alligator's here, doesn't change the type of math you would do if it were just an equal sign. It's the same kind of math. So if you look at it, we have x minus 2. You have to isolate the variable. You got to get the variable all by itself. What's attached to the variable? A negative 2. What's the opposite of negative 2? What's the opposite of subtracting 2? Adding 2. Very good. So I'm going to add 2 to get rid of it on the left. But if you do it to the left, you have to do it to the right. Good. Now, we used to say that was do it to the left of the equal sign, do it to the right of the equal sign, but there's no equal sign now. It's an inequality sign. Still, same thing applies. Do it to the left of the inequality, do it to the right of the inequality. So you have 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2 is very good. So so you get left with x and 6. Now, x doesn't equal 6. X is greater than 6 because instead of an equal sign, we had the greater than sign. What that means is if I put 6 here, 6 minus 2 is 4, but is 4 greater than 4? No. So every answer needs to be greater than 6. It can be 6.1 because 6.1 minus 2 is 4.1, and 4.1 is greater than 4. So if we were to graph this, which the worksheet tells you to graph. So once again, you want a shout out, you want a huge shout out like Byron and Farhan, figure out how to graph it. So I'm going to graph this one. I have my 2 arrows. I have my line with my 2 arrows. And just in the middle, put the number that it is. And this one is 6. So the number is 6. Now, open or closed? Open, very good, because there is no equal sign. If there's an equal sign, that means it goes up to and into. This one only goes up to, not into. So I have a circle. I have an open circle. Now, remember my trick from yesterday. This is the head of the arrow. This is the head of the arrow that tells you what direction to point. So I'm going to draw nice and thick. And that's the graph of my inequality. As you can see, I do have a problem on the flip side because I wanted to do one more problem. As you can see here, the number comes first. What kind of number is it? It's a negative 5. So it's negative 5 plus x is less than or equal to 2. So I know what you're thinking. So I wanted to go back and re-go over this. So you see an addition sign, okay? So I would naturally subtract, right? You think I should subtract because the opposite of the addition is subtraction. Good, but we're not going off of that. We're going off of what this number is that's attached to the variable. The number that's attached to the variable is a what? It's a negative 5. So the opposite of negative 5 or the opposite of subtracting 5 is adding 5. It's a positive 5. So I'm going to add 5. Add 5 to the left of the equality. Add 5 to the right of the equality. So that gets rid of this here. Oh, that was terrible. That was bad. That gets rid of that there. And then you have 2 plus 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. We know that. Your little brother knows that. Your little sister knows that. We all know that. So you are left with x is less than or equal to 7. Now, in this case, 7 does work because we're going up to and into 7. So I'm going to graph this one as well. Got my arrows. Got my lines. My little number is going to be 7. Now, open or closed? Closed, because I'm including 7. So this goes up to and into 7. So big circle, closed. Head of the arrow says which way? Boop. That way. Very good. So, draw my line with that. So that tells me which way it goes. My requirement is to tell me this part. X is blah, 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 the number, okay? If you can graph it, graph it. Find a way to graph it. Get it in there. I know Rafa's already looking, probably Googled 7,000 things trying to figure out how to get a graph because she wants a shout out like Byron and Farhan got. If you want, text Byron, see what he did. He literally just... Okay. All right, Stingrays. I'll see you tomorrow. I just want you to know also I miss you. Can't wait to see you again. And deuces.